Welcome to Trending Update USA, I am Steffan. Elena Rybakina's unstoppable Riyadh run now stands as one of the most dominant and financially historic WTA Finals triumphs in the modern era, culminating in a record-shattering $5.23 million champions payout after she dismantled Aryna Sabalenka with a performance that combined precision, power, and unshakable competitive calm. The Riyadh crowd, already electric from a week of high-stakes tennis drama, witnessed a masterclass that reaffirmed Rybakina's status as one of the most technically complete players of her generation. Tonight's victory was not just a match won, it was a statement delivered, forceful and unmistakable, to the rest of the tour. Rybakina's tactical intelligence shone right from the opening exchanges, establishing deep court positioning, commanding the rallies with penetrating ground strokes, and neutralizing Sabalenka's explosive baseline pace through disciplined defensive structures. What unfolded over the course of the final was the culmination of a week in which Rybakina demonstrated not only consistency but a rare psychological economy, controlling matches without emotional excess and executing point by point with an unwavering focus reminiscent of peak-era champions. In Riyadh's inaugural edition as host of the WTA Finals, the stakes were monumental. The prize money pool was a historic milestone for women's tennis, and the title itself carried enormous symbolic value as the WTA expanded its presence in new markets. Under this spotlight, Rybakina delivered a performance that elevated both her personal legacy and the prestige of the event. What was remarkable was the way she adapted her patterns depending on match context. Throughout the tournament, she showcased one of the tour's most effective service patterns, generating free points at critical junctures while also displaying a refined ability to construct aggressive yet controlled second-shot combinations. Against Sabalenka, a player known for overpowering opponents, Rybakina never caved under pressure. She absorbed pace, redirected angles, and kept her opponent perpetually off balance with line changes executed with millimetric precision. Sabalenka, entering the final after an emotional and physically taxing week, tried to impose her signature first-strike tennis, but Rybakina dismantled her timing with high-margin targets and a deep understanding of rhythm disruption. Each time Sabalenka attempted to accelerate the ball down the middle, Rybakina responded with width. When Sabalenka aimed for angles, Rybakina either countered with superior geometry or played the rally into neutral before reasserting control. The technical clarity of Rybakina's footwork allowed her to maintain a pristine base even during extended rallies, and her ability to take the ball early forced Sabalenka into rushed contact zones, producing uncharacteristic errors. The first set established the tone for the rest of the match. With disciplined shot tolerance, Rybakina kept Sabalenka at bay while selectively pouncing on opportunities to step inside the court. Her serve, one of the most efficient weapons in the women's game, delivered aces when needed and forced Sabalenka into defensive returns that yielded short balls, perfect fuel for Rybakina's controlled aggression. As the set progressed, Rybakina's court management grew increasingly assertive. Sabalenka's frustration surfaced when her attempts to overhit produced diminishing returns. The Kazakh star's read on Sabalenka's serve was impeccable, allowing her to anticipate patterns and neutralize first-serve power. With every tactical exchange, it became clear that Rybakina wasn't merely reacting, she was dictating the tempo of the final itself. When she sealed the first set, the momentum swung decisively in her direction. The second set belonged fully to Rybakina's command of tempo variation and mental steadiness. Sabalenka, known for her ability to muscle her way back into matches, tried to reset emotionally and technically, but Rybakina denied her any foothold. Each time Sabalenka attempted to power through the middle, Rybakina deployed defensive depth that transformed positions of apparent weakness into neutral, or even offensive structures. What stood out most was Rybakina's emotional equilibrium. In a high-stakes final where tens of millions of eyes watched globally and a monumental prize purse hung in the balance, she demonstrated a stoic, almost surgical mindset. The Riyadh atmosphere, charged but respectful, seemed to enhance her focus. Her composure under pressure has long been one of her defining attributes, and in this final it separated her from Sabalenka, who struggled to maintain internal balance after early setbacks. By mid-set, Rybakina had fully cracked Sabalenka's code, flatten out the backhand for line winners, use heavy forehand cross-court to push Aryna wide, and redirect pace only when the contact point was optimal. This mature shot selection minimized risk while maximizing tactical return. Every break point Rybakina earned came from constructed pressure rather than opportunistic chaos. Her point building was so methodical that even routine rallies felt orchestrated. The crowd sensed the inevitability of the outcome as Rybakina elevated her level in the final stretch, showcasing a championship mentality characterized by clarity, courage, and technical execution. When match point arrived, she delivered one final display of her elite serving mechanics. A wide serve followed by a clean forehand winner, a sequence symbolic of her entire campaign. As Sabalenka's final shot sailed long, Rybakina collapsed into a reserved but triumphant celebration, embodying both relief and satisfaction. It was the culmination of a season defined by resilience amid scheduling challenges, high-pressure environments, and a constantly evolving competitive field. The trophy ceremony added further resonance to the moment. Under the bright Riyadh lights, Rybakina accepted the WTA Finals crown with her characteristic humility. The presentation of the record-setting $5.23 million prize underscored not only her achievement, but also the financial evolution of the women's game. Her victory speech struck the perfect balance: gratitude to her team, acknowledgement of the global significance of the event, and respect for Sabalenka as a competitor. The audience responded with a roar that filled the arena, solidifying the final as one of the marquee sporting moments of the year. Analysts across the tennis world will dissect this performance for months. Rybakina's service efficiency, measured rally tolerance, and first strike precision set new benchmarks for championship play. Coaches have noted that her ability to transition seamlessly between offensive and neutral patterns makes her one of the most strategically complete players on tour. Meanwhile, Sabalenka's effort should not be understated. Despite the loss, she reached the final through gritty victories and displayed the physical and emotional endurance that have become hallmarks of her career. However, in this final, she faced an opponent operating at peak form, executing a game plan with near-perfect discipline. From a broader perspective, Rybakina's Riyadh triumph will have ripple effects across the 2026 season. Her confidence, already substantial, will scale to new heights. The psychological impact of this dominant run could influence future matchups with the tour's biggest hitters, including Swiatek, Sabalenka, Gauff, and Osaka. Sponsorship interest around Rybakina is likely to surge following this historic win, as brands align themselves with an athlete whose blend of elegance, power, and consistency is rare in elite sport. Off the court, her poised demeanor and understated charisma continue to resonate with global audiences. Fans appreciate her integrity, discipline, and authenticity, qualities that amplify the significance of a triumph like this one. Riyadh's successful hosting of the WTA Finals will also spark industry-wide discussions about the geography of tennis moving forward. The logistical, financial, and infrastructural commitment demonstrated by Saudi organizers may pave the way for additional high-profile tournaments in the region. For now, though, the evening belongs to Elena Rybakina. Her Riyadh run was not merely unbeatable, it was transformative. With this victory, she enters a new echelon of tennis champions, joining the select group of players whose peak performances transcend sport and become part of tennis history. As we wrap up this special coverage, one thing is clear: Rybakina's legacy has reached a new summit, and the world will be watching closely as she builds on this iconic moment in the seasons to come. This has been Trending Update USA. I am Steffan, and we will continue to follow every development as the world of tennis moves into its next defining chapter.